So let's talk about the sprites that you made, the animated GIFs, and how you turn those into sprite sheets. So let's say you did it in Photoshop and you still have your Photoshop document as something like this, like my baby animation. Remember the baby? Yeah, right? Okay, so what I don't want is this white background. So what I can do is through each frame, just click on the frame, and then toggle the visibility off for each frame. And you'll see I'll have to do this little juggling act where I click on the frame and then also click on the layer over here and toggle off the visibility. Click, toggle off visibility, 4, toggle off visibility, frame 5, layer 5, toggle off visibility. You get the game. Cool. And then I'm gonna show you techniques where you actually use a GIF to create a sprite sheet. So export, save for web legacy. Important stuff. So 64 by 64 pixels is what we made those at. Great, leave it at that. 64 by 64. Quality, make sure it's at nearest neighbor instead of any of these that try and interpret the pixels into smooth-ish looking lines. Remember we talked about that sort of anti-aliasing effect. So nearest neighbor is our jam. Forever, fine, all that's good. So we'll save it. Just make sure you know where it's saved. I already have one saved. Cool. Let's say you don't have the PSD file and you have a GIF. So this is a GIF that you open up in PSD, or in Photoshop. So for this technique, at least in order to have a transparent background, it seems to me like you're going to need to use Photoshop as your tool. This one is just going through, and if your background is different enough color from your foreground character, you can do the magic wand tool to select it. So W on your keyboard, sometimes W pulls up this quick selection tool. We want the magic wand tool. You want to make sure you're set to anti-alias is checked off. So this is not checked, none of this is checked. So just that probably will be checked by default, but make sure anti-alias is checked off. You can do a point sample. I think that should be fine. That's what I changed mine to. And you click on it, and you see you have your selection. So it's selected all the white, and you can also see that it is selecting right up to those the pixels. We can hit delete, remove that information, and then what you have to do is get rid of that selection area. So Command D is deselect. It's also select deselect. It's right there. And then you move on to the next one. So hit frame 2, and then look, same juggling act. Click up to layer 2. Now we have that layer selected. Let's do our little selection. Delete, boom, Command D to deselect. I'll do it one more time. So 3, notice the layer did not jump up with it, my selected layer. Go up to 3 with my magic wand tool, boom, and then and then deselect, and then we keep going, right? I said I don't, you get it. Boom. All right, cool. And then remember, do them all, and then export, save for web legacy. Nearest neighbor down here, 64 pixels by 64. If yours is bigger than that, just keep that in mind, and I'll show you why. So cancel. So then what you're going to do, you have your GIF, right? You're going to go to ezgif.com, ezgif.com, and you'll see there is a GIF to sprite generator. Holy moly. So I've already done this, but you'll see it'll be like select your GIF. Cool. I selected my baby. This is the one that had the alpha. And I can't show it to you live right now because baby Beckett yanked the cable for the internet. So I'm doing this without internet, but this just happened to be already loaded. Verizon's coming tomorrow to fix the internet. So that's how I'll upload this video. So what you do, you'll select your GIF, stack horizontally, probably do that. Then you set your tile size. So if it is 64 by 64, you want to make sure you do that. Otherwise, it'll like go to the pixels of your character, because they're alpha, essentially negative, nothing pixels, transparent pixels. But you want that 64 to 64 grid or whatever your grid is to be acknowledged, so that when your character is animated, each animation frame in that GIF lines up correctly, if you know what I'm saying. So 64 by 64, and then you convert to a sprite sheet, and look, because we select stack horizontally, it extracts the 6 frames and puts them in a PNG document with a transparent background. So PNG, you want to make sure your convert type it'll be this by default, but you may want to make sure it's that. It's a PNG. Then this is essentially my Sprite sheet generated for me. Then I save it. It will save with a kind of funky file name. If you look down here, easygif.com GIF. So it might be one of the first things you want to do is change the name of this. So let me do that really quickly. Come on, show and finder. Let's go there. So there it is. I'll change it to Avery, baby.